Hi, I'm Stacia Alicia, holistic wellness advocate, founder of Raw Food Challenge JA, content creator, and travel and lifestyle vlogger. I consider myself to be, at least for this year, bold and brazen and ready to win. That's it.
Hey, welcome once again, guys, to Good News Jamaica Hidden Gems, where we search the island for awesome, creative, and just like-minded individuals. So today we have with us here Stacia Alicia.
Hi, Andre.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
And I can see that. So this is a young lady that wears many hats. So why don't you just go ahead and just give us a brief introduction to who Stacia is.
Okay. I am creative, resourceful.
Okay.
Oh my God. I just said my introduction.
Okay, just do a bunch of different stuff. So like, what actually inspired you to get into the creative field of this?
All right, so I went to UE, University of the West Indies, and while there, I would transform my outfits into new outfits. So the scissors was my friend.
So hold on, so you went to, did you live on Hall?
Yes, I lived on the only hall that's
Irvin?
No. I said the only hall.
I'm saying you sound like a tailor, right?
Definitely.
See people, she's a tailor.
Ding,
right?
ding, ding, ding.
Okay.
Right. So for classes, I would cut up my jeans. You know, I would turn denim into bags, and
Nice.
and people would ask, you know, where you get that from? And I was like, I made it.
Okay.
So after a while, persons wanted me to make stuff for them, but I wasn't too confident to make things for other persons because the finish on the inside, you know, when you
Stitch it,
right.
yeah.
So on the outside it's cute, but on
nice.
the inside it's not that. It wouldn't be professional in my. But they wanted it. They insisted, and after a while, I did decide, we had fashion. Okay, so this is where Irvin comes in now. So Irvin, yes, and they would have different fashion shows. We had fashion shows as well on Taylor Hall. So at the time, my hall name was Ghetto. So I'll call it Ghetto Fashions.
Oh.
So I'd actually show a line on the fashion shows. Any hall having a fashion show, I would show up. I wasn't selling anything. I just liked the creative part of showing a line. But then after you show a line and persons now want to buy, what do you do? So after a while, I decided to turn, at the time, Ghetto Fashions into an actual business. And then at that time now, I decided to change the name from Ghetto Fashions to Yard Trend. So it's a bit more marketable. And that's how the fashion design, creative side started through fashion.
Awesome stuff. So now, fast forward to present day, or even 2019, where you actually started something else. Give us a little bit of information about that.
So, everything is connecting the dots, you know. So after UE, because I also played a lot of sports. So I played sports for Taylor, for UE,
what kind of
for my
sports?
block. What didn't I play? So for my block, I played almost everything. The only thing I didn't do was like the long distance, like cross country, maybe badminton, swimming if there was that.
But you earned your space.
But I did everything else.
Okay.
So I did football, netball, volleyball, basketball, table tennis. For Taylor Hall and for my block. And then for UE, I played football, basketball, and netball.
Nice. Look at you.
Look at me. So let's get to the connecting the dots now.
All right.
So after playing all those sports, you're fit and you're not putting on weight because you're playing sports. But it didn't really connect. That was the reason why you were not putting on weight until leaving UE and not participating in any sporting and physical activity. I would gain weight. And then I would lose it. I'd work out to lose it. Then I would gain weight, then work out to lose it. Again, and it was just fluctuating until I decided in January 2019, looking on myself I decided that it was time to change.
Okay.
And that's when I changed to a plant-based lifestyle.
Nice,
But
nice.
apart from the fact that I had put on a lot of weight, I also have had horrible period cramps from high school. And I knew from before that a change in the way I eat would help. But I think just having the fact that I put on so much weight as well, that combined, plus my father had already died, but growing up, I saw him injecting himself with insulin all the time because he had diabetes. When I was a teenager, he got a stroke which paralyzed half of his body. So he was bedridden for 10 years. And seeing him in that state of deterioration for 10 years until he died, I was adamant that that was not going to be my life. But at the time, physical activity and sports was my avenue to saying this was not going to be my life. After now, I realized that I have to change the way I eat as well, because I stopped playing sports, and in 2 months or 1 month, you blow up. That doesn't sound, that don't make any sense. And so that's when I decided that I'm going to do this, and I started. And I started first not eating meat 1 day a week. Then I moved it to 2, then 3, and then until I realized I was only eating meat on weekends. Until it was 1 day, until it was no day, until it was no day, but I was still saying, put a little curry gravy on the rice, please.
Put some gravy on the dumpling too.
No, I'm not a dumpling person, but put some gravy on the rice, please, until I'm no longer, I stopped eating meat and all of that altogether.
Okay, so you said plant-based. So tell us a little bit more about the plant-based diet.
Okay, so what they for me, it's all, I think it's just people putting terms, but really and truly vegetarian it shouldn't be what they have it to be. Where vegetarian, you eat fish. No. Vegetarian should be vegetation, right? But plant-based is basically no animal products,
no fish,
no anything, just plant-based. So fruits, raw vegetables, cooked vegetables. So the difference between the plant-based and the raw is that with the raw, it's uncooked, it's eating without heating. And with the plant-based, it's still plant-based, but you can steam, you can cook, you can still
steam a cabbage and
right, you can still do all those things. So I started plant-based, and then eventually I'm now what I would consider high raw, which means that I eat mostly raw, mostly uncooked. I'm fully raw when I'm on a challenge. But when I'm not on the challenge, I would add other plant-based stuff to my I don't want to use diet, because we eat to live, not to die. So
diet, I like that. So we'll get into the challenge in a bit, but since you started on that journey, like what have the changes been like, or success factors?
Trust me, personally, I have lost approximately 45 pounds. I hope you show my before and after on screen, right? I've lost approximately 45 pounds. I've shed belly fat, a significant result, a significant reduction in my waistline. My energy increased. My mental clarity improved. I was telling you before about horrible period cramps. That is no more.
Straight from plant-based.
Trust me, it's all in your food affects your mood.
People
think it's just your physical, but it's actually, trust me, the power of eating the right foods. So yes, I've lost weight, I've shed belly fat, and there's a reduction in my waistline, my mental clarity, energy, vitality. Some persons will say I look more youthful.
Yes, she does. She
does. So I don't want to forget anything, but yeah, that's what coming to me right now.
All right, so guys, she shared a lot thus far now, but you're doing something currently,
All right.
a challenge, raw food
Right.
challenge.
So I'm
tell us
actually
about
on a 21 days raw challenge, raw food challenge right now, January 1 to 21.
that. Okay.
So we have a community where we support, and it's art. So this how it started is I went on a 40 days raw challenge for my 40th birthday.
Hold on there. People share. 40, which part?
Wait, that was in 2020 actually. So now
she's
I'm
40.
coming closer to 42.
Which part? Raw food, guys. Raw food does it.
Yeah, so I went on a 40 days challenge. I invited my social media friends to join me. I got a good response. Over 80 persons responded. Not all who started ended, but they started, right?
Least, yeah.
But the persons who did it, even the persons who didn't complete it, they saw such good results that they say you need to have one again.
Okay.
But please, I sent out a feedback form because even though it was for fun, I still wanted to get feedback. And from the feedback form, a lot of persons were saying, hey, my illness is no more. I was bloated before. I had period cramps. My PCOS symptoms alleviated. My fibroid shrunk. So many amazing results that they said that you have to have it again. So I decided to have it, but they said, but the 40 days just too long. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do 21 days. So in May of this year, that's when we had the first 21 days raw. Okay. I thought it was going to be, in my head, I was saying, okay, I'll have 121 days raw every year. That was my intention. But after May, the persons were like, we want to do May, June. We want to do June. Again, and I said, okay. And then other persons, while we were doing May, were saying, oh, my friend, you know, I see the results of my friend. I want to join for June. And I said, okay, so I'll just do June. But then June came, and they were like, I want to do July. So I've been doing challenges from May, and we're into so even for December, I wasn't going to have one in December because I like in December people like eating this. I'm not only busy with family, but they want to eat December food.
That's true.
And people were like, no, you have to have a December one. And then I was like, this is making an impact. So we have one for January, and so basically we're a community. We call ourselves the Raw Fam. So we're a community, and they call me the Raw Boss. Hey. And raw for me, I've coined it to mean ripe and wholesome, because you know ripe is synonymous with fruits, only fruits. So it helps you to understand that you eat only things that can be ripened or things that are wholesome. Nice. Right. Nice, and it's a holistic. So we ensure that we call it raw sweat. We ensure so you do some physical activity. You sweat for the day, you do some physical activity, and the other elements of wellness, because it's not just what you eat, even though that is probably the biggest part of it.
Anything that you ingest.
There are other things. There are other things, you know. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you drinking enough water? You know, are you laughing? Positive social interaction. Persons don't understand that wellness is holistic. Right. So that's the 21 days. We're a community of support. We have a private WhatsApp group. They share their meals. We give them tips. We send out tips, recipes, ideas that they can try if they want to. And it's a good community. The results have been amazing. As I say, you have persons who have had infertility issues due to PCOS who got pregnant, and I nearly cried. Then you have persons who have lost, shed weight, belly, reduction in waistline, the things that women want to, that means a lot to women. But then you have illnesses like, or things like PCOS and fibroids. You have persons who fibroids have shrunk. You have persons who had cysts on their ovaries that disappeared. It's just amazing. It's just amazing how not only what the food you eat, but when you take certain things off your plate. Because at the end of the day, if it's the things that you're eating and ingesting that are bad for you that are causing the illness.
Exactly.
So if you decide that you're going to take those things off your plate, then your body will do what it was designed to do, which is to heal itself.
Nice. So something that started out just a 40-day challenge is no...
It's a movement. It's a raw movement, I must say. It's
so like,
movement.
how can individuals actually get in contact with you if they might want to take part in the
so I would say if you can follow me on Instagram. I mean, I'm on YouTube and all the others. TikTok, I recently joined TikTok.
I call it TikTok, you know.
All right. But one, it's easier to just send one place. So I would say go to Instagram. You can follow my personal page, which is at Stacia Davidson. And you can also follow the Raw Food Challenge JA page. That's at Raw Food Challenge JA or at Stacia Davidson on Instagram.
All right, so you mentioned your YouTube. What's your YouTube platform and what kind of content do you post on YouTube?
Okay, so I actually have 2 YouTube channels because in my other life, I'm a travel and lifestyle vlogger, which connects because, you know, you go on the road and you're eating your fruits at the same time.
And your videos and you just show it. Okay.
But I also have the Raw Food Challenge JA page where when I do interviews with, you know, so I have 2 things. I have a series called Raw Escapades where we go around Jamaica. Eventually we want to go global and we taste, we discover, we hunt, discover, taste and review exotic fruits across Jamaica, eventually the world. So if you have ever heard about the Santal or the Antidesmo, some fruits that you probably never hear about before. Some you know about before, but some I never hear about them before. And then, you know, we taste them and we, you know, we show persons. So we kind of, when persons are piqued, their interests are piqued, they will say, oh, I want to taste that. So it's just introducing persons to new fruits. And what is available out there. But that's for the serious part. And then, of course, we actually share information to help about the science of good eating, frequently asked questions, you know, where you get your protein from? From plants. Where do you think the animals get their proteins from? Plants. So yeah, so just debunking some of those myths that people have.
Definitely.
Because the truth of the matter is, when you look at it, this is the healthiest. Eating a plant-based, whether that is raw, high raw, whatever, eating plant-based is the healthiest way to go.
Okay, cool. So before we actually close, I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time to come and speak with us. But before we close, what is 1 or 2 gems you can actually impart on individuals who, like myself, eat a lot of meat, but I know that I need to change my diet, right? So what is 1 or 2 gems you can impart on others like myself who need to get on the right track, but just being skeptical
So first of all, you have to decide. Nobody can force you to change. What is it do you want for your life and for your family's life? So you have to decide that wellness is also a legacy. So people may think of legacy as what you leave in terms of money or assets, but the values that you leave behind, you know, your attitude and behavior. If you have children, they are watching and they eat the way you eat because you buy the food that in the house anyway. So one, you want to leave a legacy for, so one, you're doing it for those who you care about, but also for yourself. If you want to actually change, you actually want to kickstart your wellness, I'm having 2 things. One, so we're having a Gimme Raw on January 15, and that's a virtual retreat where you will learn from Dr. Aris Latham. He is dubbed as the father of raw gourmet cuisine. So you learn the science of good eating, how the anatomy of flavor, to make how to make your food flavorful and tasty and delicious, but wholesome and healthy. And you'll also actually learn. It's interactive, so you'll be getting your shopping list and your grocery list, so you'll learn how to prepare meals as well. And then also you can do it the way I did it, in terms of in increments.
Okay.
And that's where we have that's March 1. I'll be having a transition to raw, a 6 months transition to raw, ripe and wholesome. Yeah, so transition to raw program. So we'll start from March, and every month we take something else off the plate and add something else. So it's in increments, it's in stages. So at the end of the 6 months, which is in August, we do a 21 days raw. So that's when you do your fully raw. And then at the end of that, you can decide, do I go fully raw or high raw? But for certainly, you won't go back to how you were eating.
There we go, which is most important.
Which is most important.
All right, Stacia, you're awesome.
Thank you so much. I'm rawsome.
People, she's rawsome. She's rawsome. Raw boss. So, guys, just want to say thank you very much for tuning in once more to a wonderful interview with Raw Boss.
Raw Boss.
And she's very awesome. So, guys, have a blessed one. Happy New Year. And stay tuned for more great interviews. Peace.
Thank you for checking us out on Good News Jamaica TV for content that informs, inspires, and transforms. Please like, share, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more positive Jamaica content. Walk good.